Todd.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Welcome to the show. This is Wellness Wednesday, and we talking about what we talking about today, Todd.
Let's see. We're gonna talk about. Let's see. I'm rubbing
Uh,
my
uh
head, so I guess we're gonna talk about hair, skin, and nail. How to grow your hair.
you mean something you ain't got?
Okay. Just because I don't have it, don't mean I don't know how to grow it now.
No. Ain't nobody talk about what you can do. We talk about what you got. Okay, so don't be hating cause I got what you want.
That's how do we know that's real?
Cause when you pull this, it ain't stitched in. Okay, and this is live. Okay, this is all the way live. This ain't no make believe. If you saw it up close, you'll be like, okay, that's real. That's real. That's real.
Okay, we can tell if it's real if you take a match and light it on fire. If it really burns, we know it's real.
That sound like pure hate to me.
Mm.
If I was that bald, I guess I would hate to. He look funny, don't he, y'all? I ain't picking at him. I ain't picking at him. Okay, hair, skin, and nail. Ooh wee. That's okay. People seem to think that you can grow your hair from the outside by putting chemicals and stuff on. I mean, I know a lot of people. The beauty shops are making billions. They're not making millions. They're making billions because people seem to think that they can grow their hair by putting chemicals on the outside. How true is that?
Well, you can have the illusion of your hair growing because what happens is you're straightening it, so it looks like it's longer, but that doesn't mean it's really grown.
Okay, so stop right there. Just because you straighten your hair and lay it down, don't mean it's longer. Even okay, so African American black people hair is curly, so it's withdrawn, if you will. When you straighten it, it kind of lays flat, so it actually is longer because you put a hot iron to it. Excuse me. But the reality is, when it's curled and shorter, that's your actually length of your. Would you say that's the length of your hair?
Yeah, yeah, that's the length of your hair.
Okay, so it's supposed to be like that. That's why it ain't straight all the time. Okay, I got you. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, and mainly ladies now. Okay, hold on. I gotta make sure everybody can hear me. Let's see. Yes. YouTube. Okay. I'm making sure I know we're live, but people don't know where to go. Hold on one second, Todd. Let me make sure. Can you send me a link of where people go live? How you see me live and everybody else don't? Just send it to me. I'll text it out. I'll put it out there. Okay. I'm sorry, Todd. I want to see if I have a link where people can actually see us, and I'll kind of put it on the screen. But as I was saying, just because your hair is hot iron and straight, don't mean it's healthy. Don't mean you got the right minerals and nutrients. It doesn't mean that you're doing the right thing by your hair just because you put some heat to it. The
That's,
reality is your hair does
you,
not grow from the outside,
that's damaging. That's damaging your hair.
and people don't care. Why would you
Yeah,
care?
for the
Okay,
purposes of for self for the purpose of self-esteem and lack of self-esteem, people are straightening their hair to fit into or to fit into the European standard of beauty. That's the general thing what's going on.
okay,
So if you want to grow your hair, or if you have difficulty growing your hair, the goal is to feed the hair from the inside or give the body the nutrients necessary for the hair to grow internally. Then it'll grow like it's supposed to.
okay. How do you do that? I mean, people don't know what the hair needs or don't need. There's nobody in the medical field teaching people, especially the people that are selling all the different products in the stores. They're not telling people how to get their hair like this, how to grow hair for real. I haven't seen it anywhere.
Okay, so hair growth is there's many different components to it. There's a hormonal aspect of it. There's a mineral nutrient need like vitamin C. You need calcium. You need protein. There's many different aspects of growing your hair, and if you're deficient of any of these minerals or these things, you're going to have issues where your hair is going to fall out. You have split ends. You may even have premature graying. These are all things that will happen to for you if you don't have the proper nutrition in your body to grow your hair. So if your hair is not growing properly, that's a sign that something's wrong. So your body does signal to you that there's something wrong, and you'll see something like split ends. So we see people that have split ends in their hair, but they go straight to the beautician or the barber to get those split ends cut so it doesn't look frizzy. But what they're missing is the body is letting you know that there's a hormonal issue. Probably something going on with their ovaries where they're having like a fibroid tumor or something like that that's causing the hair to split on the ends. So these are signals that people need to know so they know that their hair is not healthy and that they need to do something. But if you look the before, now, and after, okay.
Okay, so now at 50 is the before. 3 years later is the after. This is the now, but it's actually longer because this was taken when I was 50. Each one of those image has an age to them, and so people don't understand that is the real me. At 50, black people don't age like everybody else, but that's me 3 years later under the after. And my hair, once it got to my shoulder, I stopped taking the minerals and nutrients. I did it periodically, but I didn't take it like I was taking it when I first began. I took it for 3 years straight just to get my hair to my shoulders. And I was receding at the very top. So, you know, that's just to show if a guy can do it, what can a woman do? But I fed the follicles first. And that was my only, I did nothing to the outside. Okay.
So that's why we have what's called our hair, skin, and nails formula that we use to help people grow their hair from the inside out. So give you the nutrition. So do you have a bottle there on your shelf where you can show people what it looks like?
Well, let me read this first. I want to read this first because I think this is funny. What person said? She said, our hair is versatile enough to wear in different styles. We are no longer subjected to wearing straight hair because of the Crown Act that was passed.
Okay. What,
What was the Crown Act? I don't know the
what
Crown
she's
Act.
referring to is that there was a law that was passed that you can't discriminate on people for different hairstyles. So,
But we're
you
not
know,
talking about that, right?
no, but she's telling you that she's not limited to just that straight hairstyle. So I understand what she's saying.
Okay, okay, because I
And
don't.
so, it's very difficult for Black women because they're the only group of people that are required to change the look and texture of their hair to get employed. And so what she's referencing is the Crown Act, where that now that employers can't discriminate against you for wearing your hair in a natural style. So in the past, if you went to a job interview with an afro or
Right.
braids, you might not get hired, because that's not part of that's too intimidating for some people. Not necessarily it's true, but some people feel intimidated by you wearing your hair in a natural style. And African American men and women are the only people that have to deal with those circumstances. No one else is required to put chemicals on their hair to straighten it or change their natural texture of their hair in order to be employed or be gainfully employed.
Okay,
And so a
so
lot of them have to deal with that. A lot of times, people what happens is um, most people will tell you don't go to a job interview with braids in your hair for women. Wear your hair in a different, in a perm or a press, and then once you get the job, you can change your hairstyle. So that's what she's referencing. So what we're trying to talk about is that you can grow your hair naturally and not have to necessarily do those things.
okay, so I then maybe there's a misunderstanding, and I laugh because I think it's funny because I know what you can do as opposed to what you can't do. And obviously I don't laugh to humiliate, but if you buy your hair, you like my girl always tell me, I bought it, it's my hair. So, but I would like to see more of us do this because I know that we can once we feed the follicles, and that's what we're here for. We're here to give you back you, and it's not to make you feel bad for what you do or buying hair and things of that nature. But if you can have it naturally, why not? I mean, my girl do miracles with my hair like this. I mean, I get all kinds of, and it looks so good when she styles it. So I'm not knocking women, you know, paying for hair and putting it in their head, but I've seen a lot of damage from that. I've seen people's scalp being peeled off because of the glues and stuff like that. So to me, that's not necessary when you're natural. I mean, what you think of that? I think being natural is the best, but you can do what you want to do, right?
Right. There's consequences to taking shortcuts. When you're trying to, you can actually grow your hair yourself naturally and not have to use those things. So sometimes what people might need to do is just take the time and use the proper herbs to help their hair grow. And a lot of times when you're wearing these wigs or you're wearing these, your hair braided too tight, you're damaging your hair. and you can cause your hair not to grow at all because you're constantly pulling and tugging it, and you're putting chemicals on it, you're putting dyes on it, and you're putting perms that actually damage the hair follicles. Because in order to dye your hair, there's ammonia in there. And ammonia lifts the cuticle off the hair follicle, and so they can dye the hair. So that's what happens when you do that over and over again. You can cause different types of damage to the hair. And so,
so we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen, right?
Right.
So we recommend MSM Sulfur, Hair, Skin, and Nail. You know, these are the things that I took. MSM and Sulfur, if you don't see it, I'll bring an image up later. But Hair, Skin, and Nail are nothing but herbs designed to give you back that which is already natural. You just got to grow it back.
So if you read the ingredients from the Hair, Skin, and Nails, we can kind of give people an idea of what we're doing here.
Okay, so hold on one second. Let me do that. As a matter of fact, I like to do it this way. I like to share my screen because when you show people, it's actually better when they can go to, let's see. Let's go to Herbs of the Forest. And can you see my screen, Todd? Can you see that?
I can see your screen. I can't see your computer screen.
No. You can see what's online. What's happening though?
I can see you, but I can't see the screen where you're pulling.
Okay, I'm gonna show people the screen. Hold on. Let me bring MSM's. Well, here's Skin and Nail first. HAR, and you just go to the website, and it'll tell you what those ingredients are. Now let me see if I can share my screen. Let me see if I'm good enough to do that. I don't know if I'm good enough to share my screen. Oh, I am good enough to do that. Here we go. Hold on. I am good enough to do that. Watch this. All right, not that one. Let's bring that one down. Let's go.
While he's doing that, what we do here with our company is we don't just solve problems as far as healing people. We also deal with vanity concerns as well. A lot of times, your hair not being able to grow or not being healthy is a vanity issue, which can cause self-esteem issues. That's why we created this Hair, Skin, and Nails formula so that you can actually repair your hair.
Can you see those ingredients, Todd, or yes or no?
I can't see them clearly. You might have to read them off.
Okay. MSM Sulfur.
Okay, so let's read them off one at a time. MSM Sulfur.
Okay.
That's one of the best ingredients for helping your hair grow naturally. That's going to give you a source of collagen. It's also going to reduce pain and joint pains like that, but mainly it's used for pain and growing your hair. So that's one of the best substances we can have.
And it's found in all plants. It's found in all plants. Okay, kelp.
Okay, kelp is going to give you a lot of the vitamins, a lot of the minerals that you need to help your hair grow. So that's going to be an organic source of iodine.
And that's ocean greens now.
Right.
See those, so you said
I can see them now. Yes.
You can see them now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want people to be able to see them, but what I like to tell people to do is go to the website. And what happens is the write-ups on this site is designed to educate you. So when you do get down to the minerals and nutrients, there are no fillers here. I mean, there's 15 different herbs in here?
Right. So you see that herb pumpkin seed?
Yep.
That's your source of organic zinc. So that's going to help people prevent them from having premature graying of the hair. That foti root, that's going to darken the shaft. So that'll keep your hair dark. Let's see, red raspberry leaf. That's the hormonal component that helps your hair grow. So if your hormones are off balance, based on you having hysterectomies or any other things going on, you're eating incorrectly, you're going to have difficulty with your hair growing. So we try to address this holistically and try to address all the reasons that your hair might not be growing. So the moringa is the protein content that you need. So we try to give you the nutrition you need to actually help your hair grow. Now, one of the things that'll happen also when you make your hair grow, you'll notice that your fingernails will grow stronger and be longer too. This is another auxiliary benefit from taking this formula.
Okay, so but now MSM Sulfur, which is nothing but MSM Sulfur, is so powerful. That's the first ingredient on that list of herbs for your follicles. See, that formula is designed for the follicles to help you grow from the inside out, not the outside out. You can't grow hair from. Okay, can you grow hair from the outside out, Todd? Because I don't think you can.
Not the way people are trying to do it. So if you were going to try to grow your hair from the external part by putting something on the hair, you can't be putting on like some of the chemicals you're putting on there. You would need to use some type of plant-based oil, like an olive oil or moringa oil, something like that. That's not going to be, this can be plant-based, but it's not going to hinder your hair from growing. So those will be things that you be for keeping your hair moist and your scalp moist. But you
Okay.
wouldn't be using that to specifically to grow your hair.
Okay, now watch this. Most people think that one plant is all you need to, say, change the color of your skin. So a customer asks, she says, can you take 40 root by itself to stop the gray or turn the gray back black? What do you
Okay,
say to that?
great question. So 40 root by itself will darken the shade of your hair. However, the herbs work best in unison. So it works better when they're combined. So you'll see cayenne pepper in this formula. Now the reason that's in there is because cayenne pepper is not necessarily making your hair grow faster, but it actually makes all the herbs work better. So there's a reason why we put these
Activator.
things in together. So if you're looking just to making your hair darker color, like for example, if you have like a sandy brown, you want to kind of like make it a little darker, Fulci root will help with that, but you want to take this formula with all the herbs so that you can get the full benefit.
And since we have a formula for that, there's a combination of herbs designed to do just that. Remember, more, especially when it comes to minerals and nutrients, to me is better. More is always better. There are multiple herbs designed to help you accomplish whatever goal you're trying to accomplish, as opposed to one herb. Not that the one herb won't work, but the problem with that is people go get vitamin C. They're under the illusion that they're actually getting vitamin C. But watch this. If you take an extract of vitamin C, do you have vitamin C?
So if you're extracting it, you're talking about an inorganic substance now. So that's not, well, actually, you know what? Vitamin C doesn't really exist in nature like that. So, so there's no such thing as vitamin C in nature. That's when the man has pulled out a component of a plant and named it something. Now your body does need that component, but it doesn't exist like that in nature. So when you get an orange, you don't get a vitamin C, you get a whole host of nutrients that are doing something. So when you try to extract just that one component, now you've made it into a drug. So that's why when you take vitamin C from the store, there's a warning. It tells you if you take too much of this, you can hurt yourself because now you've turned this natural substance into a drug, and that's why there's what's called a dosage on vitamin C. So if you take the whole bottle of vitamin C, you can hurt yourself and possibly kill yourself. However, you can't kill yourself by eating 100 oranges.
Okay, I gotta elaborate on that. I'm sorry, because
So
people don't
now,
understand that.
vitamin C is very important to grow your hair. You'll notice that we didn't forget about vitamin C. You'll see what's in there? Is it Robus?
In
Yeah,
that formula,
the amla fruit or Robus in that in that hair, skin, and nail formula, particularly for the purpose of
both are in
giving.
there. Both are in there.
And
Yeah.
that's the vitamin, the vitamin C what you're looking for. We're giving it to you as a plant source. When you get it from a plant source, you're getting the way it's designed in nature. So it works properly instead of isolating one component. You
Yep,
know,
they're both in there.
when you isolate one component, number one, it throws your body out of balance because that's not how it occurs in nature. So when you're taking, like, for example, taking zinc, when you're eating foods that are high in zinc, they're not zinc by themselves because zinc by itself will throw your body out of balance because zinc has to be combined with other things. It needs iron, it needs calcium to be all holistically working in unison. If you take just zinc by itself, now you're throwing yourself out of balance minerally.
Okay, basically what he said, y'all, anytime you see the word extract, it is not complete in nature. Anytime you see anything made by man, the odds are if it doesn't say plant based and it's got the entire plant, you got a problem. That's all
Well,
he basically said.
I would say take it a little step further. If you see anything in the store that's listed as a mineral, it's a problem. So when you go to say you're looking for iron doesn't exist by itself in nature. So they're giving it to you as iron, ferrosis, or you're taking zinc. These things that lets you know that's an inorganic source of that mineral, and that's not the way you're organic. So you have to take it. You have to take the minerals in or as an organic source, and the only way to do that is by taking plants because the plant kingdom is uniquely capable of converting inorganic minerals in the soil to organic minerals that you can use. So if you're looking for iron and if you're taking an inorganic source, you might as well go ahead and chew on some nails or lick on some railroad ties, because that's what you're doing. Because your body will try to use that, but it's the wrong form of the iron. So there's iron that's in railroad tracks. There's also iron that's in spinach. Those are two different substances. There's the same mineral, but one is organic and one is inorganic. And if you're taking inorganic sources of your minerals, what you're going to do is, it's kind of like running your car with diesel fuel, and you know you're supposed to be putting unleaded. It'll still run, but eventually you're gonna tear your engine up because you're using the wrong type of gasoline.
I hope y'all got that. I hope for y'all's sake, you got to get the knowledge because you cannot know what you don't know until you learn it.
Right. And so, one of the beauties of what Forrest and I have tried to do is we tried to create different formulas and everything plant based so that you can get the results you want without the side effects associated with taking an inorganic source of the thing. So there's no shortcuts. So anything you want to do, there's an herb that can actually accomplish it for it, no matter what it is. And
Okay.
so, and there's a lot of things that we know that we haven't even created products yet for, but we will eventually. But if there's anything you want the body to do, there's an herb that'll do it. If you want to improve your memory, want your hair to grow, no matter what it is, there's a source, there's a plant source in the nature that will accomplish that goal for you.
For a person just starting out with the herbs, what is a starter herbal regimen that you would recommend everybody to start? Let's say they're brand new, they just started. What would you recommend, Mr. Herbalist?
It really depends on the person. So for the okay, if you're just a newbie, the first thing you probably want to do is clean your colon out, because you can't even absorb any of the nutrients in the formulas if your colon is compact with waste. So the first thing you want to probably do is use some stuff like centaury, psyllium husk, so that you can sweep out all that feces in your intestines. See, what happens is your intestines has these little villi that absorb nutrients. But if you've been eating American Standard Diet for decades, what happens is these villi have been coated with feces, so they can't even absorb the nutrients. So you're just eating for the purposes of getting rid of the hunger pains, but you're not even
Gratification.
right. You're
Gratification.
not even nutrition. And then if you're constipated, you're not even passing the food out of you. So that's a whole other comment. So I would always tell people to start with cleaning the colon with stuff like centaury and then like psyllium husk and stuff like that. And then you want to, then once you get that under control, then you probably want to start building yourself up from a mineral base. You want to start taking some organic minerals and then some organic sources of protein so that your body can repair itself.
I tell people start with the cleanse. Get the cleanse. The cleanse is wholesome. It works on your blood, your heart, your liver, your lung, your kidney, your colon, your male or female hormonal system. That way, to me, you're kind of doing everything in one walk, as
Mhm.
opposed to just starting with the colon. Now, I know he said that because everybody don't want to start with a cleanse. Everybody can't do a cleanse because people are weak. I understand that. So that's the method by which what Todd was saying. I'm saying do the cleanse. Todd's saying start wherever you're most affected, and that's
Mhm.
easier for some people.
But the purpose of this video was to talk about growing your hair. That's why I didn't talk about that too much. But so
Okay.
if they're trying to grow their hair, the number one thing to start with is a plant-based source of nutrients so that your hair can grow internally.
Okay, so that's MSM sulfur and hair, skin, and nail. To
Right.
me, that's where you start. It's because, like you're right, Todd. This is about doing your hair, growing your hair like this, making your hair look like this. So
So
you're right.
I don't know. I'm a hater by nature, and I'm not really sure that's real that you got on there. So, I mean,
I'm sorry, y'all. This is 100% authentically mine. I'm too lazy to take the time to have somebody put some hair on my head. Okay, so I don't do that. And I didn't want to look like that anymore. So, because I used to look like that, and I
but
graduated.
so definitely what can happen is when you start taking these herbal formulas and making your hair grow strong and healthy, it gets to be strong like a rope. Like you see when he grabbed his hair, you can tie somebody you can tie a knot with that. That's it's not going to break.
No, that's
You
not gonna
know.
break. You see how my head is responding to that? Now, if I hold my head straight up, it's pulling back against me. And the good part is it's real. And I can actually take these loose, even though they're like, if you can see that, that's authentic.
Yeah.
What's on my head is mine. And I did this with herbs only. So I know what women can do if they just will take the time to do it. It took time. Nothing happens overnight. So,
Mhm.
just like he didn't get bald overnight.
Right.
That happened over
This is,
time.
and that's another thing that will cause you to lose your is stress. So, there's different formulas we have to prevent you from having stress. There's everything is holistic, and then you'll see that if you're in your 30s and your hair is turning gray, that's a zinc deficiency, a zinc and copper deficiency. So you need to understand that this is your body is letting you know that there's things going on. So there's so many. The hair gives you so many signals. So if you're seeing split ends in your woman, that's a sign to run to your. If you don't have a gynecologist, or come to a herbal company and find out how can you address your ovaries and your maybe having fibroid tumors or something like that. That's a sign. If your hair is prematurely graying, that's a sign of a mineral deficiency. So even if you don't have you don't buy some herbs from us, there are ways that you can get zinc. There's sunflower seeds, especially if you get them raw. Sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds are great sources of zinc. Um, you definitely want to get some hormonal balancing formula so that you're not out of balance. So if your hair's not growing, see, here's the problem. What people don't realize is when you're eating the wrong substances, you're throwing your hormones out. So when you're eating meat, this is not the same meat that we were eating in the 60s and 70s. They use a lot of hormones to grow this meat quicker. So when you're eating this as a man, you're getting a lot of estrogen. You're throwing yourself hormonally out of balance. And when you're a woman, getting too much estrogen, now you're throwing yourself out of balance. This can affect you in several different ways, not just your hormonal stuff, but it also can throw off your hair growth because you're hormonally out of balance. So this is why it's very important to do the detox that he was talking about to get yourself rid of all these toxins and these excess hormones, and then start using a plant-based source to grow your hair naturally.
Okay. My name is Forrest Gump, and we're here today with Todd Lynham. We're both herbalists. We have a desire to help you. Okay?
And make sure you go to the website and check out the hair, skin, and nails formula and MSM sulfur. And he talked about the detox too.
All right. Y'all heard it from the herbalist. So, this video's been about hair. One of us got hair, and one of us don't. And,
You see how he fronts? He gonna put some music in like that. No one did it well if he gets some Simon and Garfunkel, and he gonna try to play that.
See, well, y'all know what hate look like, okay? You see that guy right there?
Simon and Garfunkel. He gonna try to put on something like that. Like,
thank you guys for listening. And you know what? Come to the podcast right here Saturday, 10:30. We'll be live doing our thing.
So what are we talking about Saturday? Are we dealing with erectile dysfunction again?
Yes, we're gonna do part 2 of EDD, erectile dysfunction. So if your man thing ain't all the way hard, we're gonna tell you why.
It's important for women to come to that too. Not
Absolutely.
not for men.
Yeah, this is for women if you ask me, because they're the ones suffering. I've had women ask me, why is it so hard? And then some guys thing don't get so hard. So my question is, well, dang, aren't you used to hard ones? But they're not. So this is for women more than it is for men. Because now they can help him get right. Because men ain't going to do right. Women will. All right. Until then, join us Saturday morning, 10:30. Thanks for listening.